So without further ado, I'll hand over to Tom. Just a little bit about Tom before I do so. Tom is a seasoned IT professional with over 5 years of industry experience. In his current role, Tom is at the forefront of the battle against cyber threats, leveraging his extensive technical knowledge to protect businesses from an ever-changing landscape of digital threats. Tom has a remarkable knack for simplifying complex cybersecurity concepts, making them accessible to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. Beyond his professional life in cybersecurity, Tom has a unique and creative side as a freelance cocktail bartender, crafting exceptional cocktails and creating memorable experiences for his clients. I'll hand over to Tom.
Thank you for the introduction there, Chloe. Appreciate it. Here we are. Cheers for joining, guys. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of a proactive approach in cybersecurity there. So just to go there, the agenda of the day. So a bit of an overview of patch management. Going to talk about the threats we face for UK businesses in cybersecurity. Talk about the importance of patching, why we need to patch as well. Also talk a bit about ransomware as well and the threats we face and a few different solutions there as well and what Heimdal can do to help resolve some of them issues we face as well there. So first off, I've just got a few facts and figures here. So some things we face in the UK, especially in 2022. Yeah, so it just kind of shows why we need cybersecurity in place in businesses in particular. So, looking at the news as well, every other day you'll see sort of ransomware attacks. You see the police getting hit, healthcare, education, and that's why we really need to have things in place as well. So, ransomware attacks are just on the rise as well. So this is why we need to have certain things in place. Going to patch management. So patching is simply put, keeping applications up to date, so to avoid security risks. So this could also be like bugs, feature updates as well. So if you don't have security risks patched, you're basically leaving a hole, leaving a hole for cyber criminals to access and to basically put malware onto your devices quite easily there as well. So an example of a patch of software being patched is we all have Apple phones these days. iOS always releasing big patches. There was one literally 2 weeks ago, so 16.7, the update. If you didn't update your device there, you're kind of open to a bad security risk. So that's why a lot of people have been forced to kind of put that update in. I've been terrible in the past of not really patching certain applications or on my phone in particular. So a bit of a reminder, if you haven't pushed through the patch from the other week, to do that as well there on that one. 85% of malware attacks come through out-of-date patches as well. So this is really key to make sure your applications are patched there as well. And again, 8% of companies who experience data breach or failed audit could have been prevented as well. On there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about compliance as well here. So patch management importance in Cyber Essentials and Cyber Essentials Plus. I'll be honest, like one of the main reasons why people fail on Cyber Essentials is because they don't do the patches, in particular third-party applications. So third-party applications are one which aren't Microsoft. So, you got your Chromes, for example, your Teams, Adobe's, things like that. So a lot of companies fail to patch these within 14 days of a new vendor release there. And another key area as well is the asset view. So knowing what is actually on each device. So that's where a lot of companies fail there, because they might have lots of applications on each device. They don't know really what's on there. So one thing what Heimdal do is they have the patch and asset management module. So what this does is it tells you exactly what's on your device there. So it tells you what needs patching. And the key thing is it's silent and automated. So you don't have to worry about pushing these through yourself. It'll just automatically be pushed through. And this is really useful for Cyber Essentials in particular there as well. Governing bodies such as ISME and even sort of Gartner as well always highlight how important this is. This is one of the most important reasons and why people get hacked as well for there. Little case study as well. So Heimdal worked with Waterstones. I'm sure you all know the book company, really. So there's over 3,000 employees there, over 260 different locations all around Europe as well. So one of their biggest issues as well after COVID was basically keeping secure online. So there's a little case study here. So what they struggled was knowing what was on each device in particular. That's what they struggled there. So having our patch and asset management module made it easy for them to know exactly what needs patching, what is out to date, and it just does it as well. So we support around 200 third-party applications as well, which is quite a lot in there. And we even have another tool for third-party, for applications we don't support as well, you can use there. What I'm going to talk about is ransomware as well. So ransomware is a malicious piece of software, so designed to encrypt files. That's what it focuses on there. So 706 ransomware incidents reported last year in the UK, and this has already gone up by 87% of the first half of this year, which is absolutely crazy if you think about it, to be honest with you. So it just shows how important it is to actually sort of have something in place there. So 10 years ago, having an AV on your endpoint was kind of good enough to protect you. But these days, it's just not enough. You need multiple layers. So you still have the threats from 10 years ago, but you have newer threats which get around your antivirus. So an example is having sort of a signatureless based one. So a DNS filter, for example. So DNS on this page, it's the phone book of the internet. So DNS, HTTP, HTTPS there. So different ways to access domains and websites there as well. So, and 91% of ransomware attacks come through DNS level traffic. So having a DNS filter as well as your AV is a great way to sort of having a multi-layered approach to stopping cybercrime there. So the whole idea is layers. So I'll give you the analogy of sort of a house. If someone's going to go burgle your house, for example, and if you had, I don't know, a Ring camera in place, you had a security dog, you had gate, they're not really going to bother. They're going to go next door where they don't have anything in place. And that's the same with cybersecurity. So a lot of cyber attacks, a lot of them these days, they buy ransomware software from the internet. So they're not even hackers themselves. And they just kind of do a scattergun approach. If you have various layers in place, you're less likely going to get attacked there as well from that side of things. The repercussions as well from a ransomware attack is just tenfold. So not only could you be down, not be able to work for a week or so, because what they do in this ransomware attack, they delete the shadow copies. So all your backups, they delete them as well. So you can't get online straight away. And also your reputation's hindered as well. So, people don't want to work with you if you're being attacked by a ransomware attack because you don't have things in place. So it's always important. Heimdal have sort of a zero trust approach module as well called ransomware encryption protection. So this looks at actual disk encryptions on your device there. So if you have sort of a DNS piece, a ransomware encryption and an AV, you're less likely going to be attacked. And you've got a very strong sort of position there as well. This is just a little example of what we do as well. So Heimdal's a unified solution. So we do all these 4 modules, what we talked about there. So we've got the DNS filter, patch and asset management, next-gen antivirus, and ransomware encryption protection. So if you had these layers in place, that means you'll be less likely going to get hit and you're well protected as well. There. So thanks very much for your time as well. Any questions, or if you want to talk to me afterwards, happy to go through as well. Cheers.